Hey kids, Chris Williams here talking about running your agency or entrepreneurial venture efficiently. Now, I get a lot of questions about this because I talk about this a lot, and it's how to make sure your processes and procedures and your systems are actually on track. So, this is something we go through with our clients. I figured this is the easiest way to explain it to you guys. I'll do this fast. I'll do it in 3 stages. Today, processes, tomorrow we'll do people, and the next day we'll do profit. And then I'm going on vacation for a week, so I will not see you for a week. Oh, so sad. But today, let's talk about processes, and let me just walk you through exactly how we do this. This is the not so simple path to freedom-based practices or companies, whatever you've got that you own. So processes, the important part about a process, if you're building a process or tuning up the processes and the systems you've got in your business, in your practice, in your agency, whatever it is that you've got right now, the important part of that are these 3 things: the when, where, and how. How are you doing the thing you're doing? Where do you get the work done? Like, where's the workflow actually happen? At a computer, at a work table, at a conference room, whatever. And when does it happen? What are the deadlines about? When is all the team going to be most available? All that kind of stuff. That's important stuff, right? So let's talk about the process itself. The minimum number of steps is critical. So when I review our own Scenthold processes, my company Scenthold, when I review our processes, I'm constantly looking for steps I can take out. So what are things that we can stop doing? A lot of people think through what are the priorities and the things you should be doing. I think a great practice is to start thinking through what are the things you should not be doing. So let's remove some processes. Let's remove steps. Let's remove things that are just waste and fluff in the system and do the minimum number of steps required to get the job done. And I don't mean shortcutting it where the product or service becomes subpar. I mean really being excellent, but doing it in the most efficient way possible. So think through your processes, look for wasted steps, and figure out how to cut that out. A simple thing would be, let's say, emails. This is really simple, but you'll get the picture. So if you're checking your inbox, or you have a staff member checking an inbox for you, or they're checking their own inbox, going through your inbox, looking at them all, being overwhelmed at 8 in the morning when you roll in the office is one step. And then going back through them all at 10 in the morning and pulling out the ones that are priorities, but being bugged by the other 17 that aren't priorities is another step. And then going back through the other 17 and pulling them out, and ultimately at the end of the day, you've done that 5 or 6 times, and you've sent half of them back, you've deleted a few, and there's still a couple hanging around, and you keep touching those old emails. Those are steps. Every time you go back to that inbox, it's a step. So what's a way you could go into your inbox and eliminate the emails, go in there, check it out, answer the emails, delete them, move on one time, even if it took you a little longer at 8 o'clock, and deal with it? That would be a way to eliminate steps, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, or multiple steps. They burn energy, they burn decision-making power. There's lots of waste there. Overly simple process, but it's a simple way to illustrate this point. Minimum number of variations. That's a great thing to notice in a system. A lot of times we build systems where, like, well, hey, if A, then B, if so-and-so sends an email, then we're going to have a response and it's going to look like this. But if they mention this one topic, then we're going to actually make it look like this. And if they include and CC their boss, then we're going to have it go up to this level. And it's like this. We're looking to short circuit and bring down the number of variations that's in any process. So if there's ever a decision tree that comes through your processes and you can go A, B, or C, we're going to try to eliminate an option. Just try to simplify it down, because the more variations you have in a process, or let's say there's 3 ways we make coffee in the office, or there's 3 ways we do a client discovery call, or there's 3 ways we measure a property before we can give a quote, or there's 3 ways we invite a patient into our practice. Pick one way. If you can pick 2 ways, okay. Definitely don't be picking 3 or 4 ways. Pick one way if possible. Get as streamlined as possible. You say, well, Chris, that might eliminate some of our clients or some of our prospects. Believe it or not, that's okay. You want to be smart and logical about how you do that, but picking one way where you and your team can be on the same page and have a very streamlined process will really make you more excellent at the people you do get to serve and waste a lot less time, because you're going to think, oh, I want to catch up on all these other clients and I don't want to miss out. Believe me, you won't. There's probably 20% of them that are variations that are freaking all over the place, and they're going to drag your whole business down. Focus on the ones that are the most important, the highest profit margin, and that bring you and them the best success, and figure out the minimum number of variations for that process that helps that patient, client, whatever it may be. Minimum number of steps, minimum number of variations, and then third, team-oriented and approved. So important. So a lot of times as bosses, we think, oh, I've got this be-all, win-all type process. Make sure that your team is involved. If it's a virtual team, if it's a local team, if it's outsourced teams, make sure you run the process by the players that are going to be involved in that process, and look for good ideas and be willing to listen, be willing to be wrong, be willing to go back and forth and poke holes in it. If they pitch an idea to you, awesome, take that idea, digest it, poke holes in it, push it back to them, but make sure that's a really open flow of communication and really get that hammered out so that you can really jump in and make sure it's team oriented and team approved, because if the team buys in on it, they're going to be way more efficient at getting it done, and it's going to be right. There's a much higher likelihood that it will be right if you and your team are bought in on that team process. All right, that is day one. I'll deal with people tomorrow. So again, processes, people, and profits. That is day one of the process model, and some basic things to start looking at and thinking about as you look at your processes and as you look at your team's processes and how those are all working together. Hope that helps. Drop any comments in you want to. I'll do my best to answer them. And all the best to you running a more efficient and more profitable practice, business, whatever it is that you're running. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.